Alright everybody, this is the first official ride on the new scooter. So yes, it's another night ride. That's purely because I've been at work all day. The scooter arrived just as I got to work, so I haven't had a chance to go out in the daylight as yet. So this is the new Segway Max G3. I waited 2 weeks for it to arrive after purchase. I actually had to contact Toll and say, where's the scooter? Should have arrived a week ago. To which they said, oh, it looks like it's lost. We'll get onto that. Lo and behold, it arrived the next day. So I think it was just sitting at the Perth Airport Distribution Centre just waiting to go out. Excuse my voice. I've been sick all week, so my voice is a little bit cooked. Also testing out a couple of cameras as well, seeing what the cameras are like in this low light scenario. I don't actually have a plan of where we're going to go. We're just going to test out the scooter, go around the streets. Tell you what, the pickup on this new scooter is insane. Oh my god, the Max G2, which is what I had previously, very good scooter, very fast, from what I was used to anyway. Handled beautifully, suspension was great, and the pickup was great. But me being at a larger size, the brakes are not very good. We'll have to get used to that. Me being a larger size on the scale of what the max payload is towards the top end, the Max G2 pickup was a little slower. The acceleration was a little slower because me being on there, it just took its time to be able to get up and go with a little less wattage, a little less power. But from the first ride, and you're literally seeing the first ride on this scooter, immediately the pickup is insanity. Now I think you can actually change the headlight. You can lift it up. I'm going to give that a go. Oh yeah, there you go. Okay, cool. So I've lifted the headlight up a bit. We'll see how that goes. Because that looks a lot better. You can see far better in front of me. Alright, now we're on a quiet road, which is why I've picked this road, because it is quiet. So while technically on the road, my god, we're going fast. Technically on the road, we're not getting in anyone's way. We're not bothering anybody. Was going to get off because I actually thought there was a car coming down here, but there's not, so quite alright. But like I said, the pickup on this scooter, comparison to the Max G2, there is no comparison. This thing blows the Max G2 away in acceleration speed. That's actually crazy. As I mentioned, the brakes are not good. I have read that you have to basically give it a bit of a ride around first, let the brakes kind of kick in. They take a bit of time apparently to adjust to your pull on the lever and all the brake cables and everything kind of loosening up. So hopefully that's the case, because at the moment there's a couple of times where I've braked thinking I might turn down a street and there's no chance that it was going to stop in time. So there is a dual brake as well, front and back. I'm just currently using back because it's what I'm used to. And on Em's old scooter, she had front and back, and when you pulled those levers, it was not much fun. It was kind of scary. So I'm kind of just wanting to stick to the one and see how that goes before I get used to both. So for standing start, and this is a bit of a slight incline as well. This pickup speed is crazy. Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, that's all I've really got for you is wow. That's crazy speed. It doesn't feel dangerous at all, which is one weird thing about these scooters. These people are like, oh, you go too fast on scooters and then you're going to hurt yourself. I mean, absolutely, you could definitely hurt yourself if you're not careful. But if you're careful and you're smart and you don't do anything stupid, you'll be fine. And so this scooter, It's only come out in Australia in the last, well, I guess a couple of weeks really, because stock constraints was definitely a problem. But yeah, finally got a hold of it today, getting my first run on it, and I'm already blown away by it, and I can tell I'm going to have a lot of fun on this, and it's definitely a fantastic upgrade on the Max G2, without a doubt. One thing you'll have to keep an eye on is the battery, as we've had previous problems with the G2, but that obviously just got worse and worse over time. So the G3 should be pretty good, but I have seen a lot of people saying that the G3 battery is also quite poor. Thing is, the American version as well does 45 kilometers an hour. So people that are going around on 45 kilometers an hour the whole time, their battery will probably be worse than the G2. That's because it goes 10 kilometers faster than what the max you could get on the G2 was in the American versions. So on this G3, you may get slightly less, or I think it's actually slightly more from what I've seen, pretty much the same distance wise, but you're also going faster. So if you dial that down a bit to go around the same speed, you'll definitely get more distance, which is good. And they're also coming out with a new expandable battery as well in the next 2 months, in July. I think it was July, I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, July. Which will expand it again by up to 80% more. So looking forward to that, and that's definitely something I'll be investing in. As myself and Emma, we like to go out on our longer trips. She's also always rather leaving me behind or getting annoyed because my scooter doesn't go as far as hers, because obviously my weight compared to hers is a lot different. So I'll tend to run out of battery a lot earlier than she does. So this scooter, we should be good to be able to stay up with them, and then once we get the expandable battery, when that does come out, we'll be able to actually go further than her, which is great, because we'll actually be able to max out her scooter for a change. So it's got a really nice LCD screen on the dashboard as well. It's incredibly windy. I know I say it all the time, and you do have a muff on you, but I'm using a bit of a different mic, so I don't know why I couldn't find the muff for the other mic that I usually use, which I know cuts out all the wind. So you're probably hearing a little bit, but it shouldn't be too bad, but my voice probably makes it 10 times worse anyway. We're definitely not going to get the max distance out of the scooter tonight, because I'm just doing a pretty simple run. Like I said, having no plan whatsoever on where to go, or where I'm going. We're just having a bit of a test run on the new scooter, which I can already tell you I thoroughly recommend. Whether it's an upgrade from the G2 or any prior versions, I would 100% recommend getting the Max G3 already. It already feels like a huge upgrade on the G2, so I am very happy with my money being spent on this scooter. Now, lucky for me, I do work at an electronics store that sells them, so I was able to get it a lot cheaper, probably around about 900 actually, cheaper than what they currently are retail. So yes, I'm a little lucky there, and definitely a reason why I upgraded. But also, it was great that, well, kind of great that my scooter did go faulty in the last bit of its life, the G2 that is. So I was able to upgrade, and it didn't cost me much more on top of the return of that other scooter. So things worked out pretty well. I just had to wait a while from when I purchased the other one, which it was probably nearly a month. So the videos that you've seen come out were videos that I recorded prior to returning out of the scooter. So I managed to get a few done just in case it took a little longer, which it did. And pretty much at the time now where another video needs to come out. So we'll get this one up, but it will be a short video, and then we'll do another release of a longer video on Friday. We'll go around, do some places that people want us to go to. We've seen in the comments of people wanting us to do different places, so we'll definitely get to some of those, like Bayswater and Midland and places like that, which will be interesting. And I look forward to that. Now, doesn't mean I'm going to be flogging around the streets super fast like you can do, and I definitely want to go around the streets a little quicker than what you would be walking, because that's the whole point of doing these scooter tours, is you can see places a lot faster than the walking videos, which is what I used to watch and kind of was the inspiration for doing this channel. Was I enjoyed watching those walking tour videos, but everything just moved at such a slow pace, you didn't get to see a lot of it. So we will move around quicker, but we'll get to places a lot faster, so you'll see a lot more things. Hopefully that all makes perfect sense. But yeah, so essentially that is my little very short review at night time, because we tend to be doing a lot more videos at night time lately, of the new Segway Max G3, and definitely a big thumbs up from me. Hopefully these cameras are going well. This light is pretty good. Sorry, mate. Yeah, I'll say this light is the standard light that's on the scooter. It's actually really bright. It's really good. The standard scooter lights that were on the G2 and prior, they were quite poor. They're actually not quite poor, they were very poor, to be honest. So this blows those away, and I could pretty much just get away with using this light, really. I mean, I'll check the difference between the two. My old light, or my beam light, and this one. And I'll probably find that the other light is better, and I'll end up using that anyway, but we'll see, because this is definitely enough. If you're just buying a new scooter, you wouldn't need to buy another light. Like, the only reason I wouldn't need another one is just because of doing these videos, and I don't want it to be too dark, because it gets kind of crappy when you can't see anything. But it's definitely bright enough for anyone just doing the rounds of the streets. Well and truly bright enough. I was mentioning before that I was just taking the side streets, things like that. And the reason I mentioned that is because there was a few comments, or a comment really, there's only one person that really cared. Everyone else doesn't give it to us. They just enjoy the videos for what they are. And to be honest, I think it's just a troll, and that's fine. We'll get those. I mentioned that I'm a muppet because I'm just breaking a lot of laws, and he's not incorrect. Like, I am. I'm not going to say I'm not. The fact of the matter is I am. But in talking to police, and I've got family members that are police. Oh my God, sorry. Just wait till it's calmed down a bit from this breeze. I've got family members and friends that are police. In talking to them, they don't really care. Like, they will pull you up, and I have been pulled up before, as you've seen in the videos. As long as you're not being an idiot, you're doing the right thing, you're wearing a helmet, and when I say doing the right thing, you're not just acting like an idiot on the scooter. They don't really care what you're doing. You can kind of do what I'm doing right now, and that's on the road, but I'm not in anyone's way. Cars come, I will get out of their way. I will just simply get off the road, so I'm not going to be bothering anybody. And same with, like, on the pathways as well. There is a 10 km/h pathway speed limit, which, if someone's on the pathway, absolutely. I don't go past people at a crazy speed anyway, just because it is dangerous. So I'm not stupid. I will get out of people's way, or I'll go slowly past people so as not to hurt anybody, including myself, because I could very easily come off the scooter and hurt myself as well. So I'm not going to be an idiot like that. So I understand some people like that who are like, oh, you're just an idiot, just breaking the law, you're going to get your scooter taken off you. I mean, that's also very possible. But like I said, I've spoken to a few people who are police, and as long as you're really not doing anything to be an idiot, you're not being completely stupid, they won't actually care. We are lucky we live in Western Australia. because I was looking up doing some scooter runs in Sydney and filming videos in Sydney, which would be a lot of fun, and you could see some cool things which you probably wouldn't necessarily see if you're from Perth. Like I wouldn't have seen, which I was really excited to do. But unfortunately, Sydney people don't have the luck that we do as far as scooter laws go. They are not allowed to be on the streets at all. The pathway streets, nothing. Like, they have to be on their own property, and that's it. They cannot leave their own property with a scooter. They don't even have beams or anything like that where they can hire one around the streets. Simple, there is none around the city streets of Sydney, which is really sad and disappointing. And I can see it's becoming a much bigger thing across the world for transport, because it is an easy way of transporting. And if it's done correctly and safely, then it would take a lot of traffic off the road if everyone wanted to do it. So I think Sydney eventually will allow it. They've done different trials in different places around Sydney as well. So I think they eventually will allow it, and that'd be great for them. And there's other cities as well that don't allow it too, or have a lot of different rules that are a lot tougher than WA. WA rules are very, very fair, I think, which is why I'm confident and comfortable enough to come out and do things like this. There's even states that you can't go out at night on your scooter, even though it has lights and headlights and tail lights and things like that. There are places you're not allowed to go. It's kind of crappy, but I get it. It's a new thing that people can definitely take advantage of and do the wrong thing. So I can totally understand why there is harsh laws. I think it's just all about them figuring it out on how it's going to be best for everybody. And once they figure that out, most places will come on board and will understand that it's going to help traffic. I mean, places like Sydney, they really need it, because the traffic there is insane. It can be absolutely crazy. I kind of want to switch sides here. So it would be a good idea for them to get on board with scooters as a public transport option to get a lot of traffic off the roads. People trying to get to work, school, things like that. Obviously, it should have an age limit. Like, I think honestly, I think you shouldn't be allowed to have or jump on the scooter unless you have a license. A driver's license, I think, you'll be fine. You don't need a bike license or anything like that unless they want to do a specific scooter test. I mean, maybe they can do that. That's not a bad idea. But I don't think they need to go crazy with having a license or anything. But of course, they want people to be safe with them, so it's not a bad idea to do scooter licenses or figure out a way that you could do that. Because you could ride a petrol scooter on the road with a driver's license. So they'll definitely have to work that out. And I think just having a driver's license will probably be enough. But I mean, obviously they'll take kids out of it. And to be perfectly honest, those kids are probably more of the problem than adults who are just trying to get to and from work. The accidents that you see generally in the cities are people just not doing the right thing. They'll be just flying past people on the pathways, just going way too fast and running into them and causing all sorts of chaos. And you know, that's where it lies, and that's where the people should be getting massive fines, getting their driver's license taken away from them, things like that. Like, it's just the way it is. If they're doing the wrong thing in a car and cause damage like that, then they could lose their driver's license. So why not do it with scooters as well? And I'd be all for that. I'm not going to be one of these people that does stupid things like that and hurts people on the street, so I wouldn't be worried about that coming as a rule at all. I just would be terrified or very upset if they took away our rights to do what we're doing right now, being on a scooter at night time freely at our own will. So far, WA definitely has the best rights and laws for scooters, and I'm very appreciative and thankful for that. So that was a very long-winded rant. Hopefully you enjoy the scenery. I've been out and about. The scooter says I still have 26.8 kilometers of battery left, which we'll never get. We started on 40. I don't know how far we've gone. I wouldn't have a clue. Actually, it does tell me. We've gone 7.3 kilometers. So if you do the maths, it's supposed to get 40 kilometers, and we're down to 26 kilometers remaining. So that's definitely not going to be the case, and that's because we've gone a lot of hills, a lot of inclines. My weight as well. I'm not 70 kilos, or I think it's like 50 kilos they use as a test subject. It's pretty crazy. So you're never going to get that maximum that they say you can get, really. But so far, even at 7 kilometers, and it still says I have 26 left. That's still 65% range. That's still a lot further than what I was getting on the G2. Even 7 kilometers, I think I was nearly halfway through my battery, and would only get me to 17 kilometers max. So, well and truly have enough battery range to outrange the G2, which is great for us. As I mentioned before as well, on the G2, and I've mentioned it previously, I haven't mentioned it tonight, but getting away from people and different reasons that you would like to get away from someone, when people are walking out in front of you or pop out of shadows, things like that, we've seen on previous videos. Being able to get away from them nice and quickly is definitely not going to be a problem on this scooter. The pickup power is crazy. Even at my weight, to be able to get away from someone, no worries whatsoever. This will handle that, no problems. And the ride comfort, incredible. Super smooth, plenty of room. There's probably slightly less room on my back foot, to be honest, than the previous version, but there's still enough. And there's plenty sideways, like heaps sideways, so I can shift around a fair bit as I need to and get comfortable, stay comfortable, whatever. I think there might be another scooter come out behind me. Can't see. Ugh. Oh, there's pathways that kind of just end on there. That's silly, isn't it? I kind of want to be on the other side of the road anyway, because this is a walking path, which is annoying. I think there was a scooter behind me, but it's gone now. Alright. So we're at 61% battery remaining. We've gone 8.5 kilometers. Won't be huge range, but again, like I said, once you dial down the speed, so when myself and Emma are out on trips, her scooter won't be able to do as fast as mine, so I'll dial down the speed, and that'll get me even longer battery life. So I'll be up closer to what she can do. And then when we get the expandable battery, it'll be even better, and we'll be able to outlast Em. So I thoroughly look forward to that. Yeah, like I said, I haven't had any rhyme or reason to what we're doing tonight or where we're going. We've just done a weird trip from Brookdale through to Seville Grove, and then almost went to Kelmscott and decided not to because I wanted to make this fairly short. It's also nearly midnight and I've got work in the morning, so I didn't want to make it a long trip. But I'm actually enjoying this scooter so much that I didn't want it to end just yet. I was literally thinking about just going out for 10 minutes, making this a real short video, cutting it up, making it a reel. But I've enjoyed this scooter so much that I kind of don't want to get off it yet. So yeah, if you're looking for a recommendation on scooters, the Segway Max G3, I am all about it. Great scooter. The brakes are definitely getting better. I can feel them getting better, but I'm also starting to use the double brake as well, which I didn't know if I was going to use, but I have been, and it definitely is not an issue. It's easy to use and comfortable enough that I will definitely use it. Yeah. Yeah, I have no problems actually using the dual brakes. They're actually fine, easy to use. But definitely better stopping power than just using the rear brake. Let's test out just the rear again. Yeah, it's definitely better. I could definitely feel it getting more grippy, the rear brake by itself, but the dual brakes actually, yeah, they're not too bad. I'll definitely be using that. Although yeah, just the rear brake just then, that was quite fine. It definitely felt similar to the G2, but no, it feels alright actually. Let's go over this bridge. Usually don't go over it because the suspension is quite loud over here, but this scooter, I haven't heard anything out of the suspension on this. It's super quiet, so very nice. Bit of a hill climb here. No problems whatsoever. Very nice. Actually very interested to see what it's like going up a steep hill with me on it. The G2 just wouldn't go up much of a hill at all. I actually wonder if I would even have made it up this hill on the G2. This one doesn't seem to be much problem at all. We're definitely gaining speed, which we probably wouldn't have done on the G2. It's not a huge incline, but it's definitely enough. This doesn't seem to be having much trouble at all. It's actually definitely picking up speed. There is a hill up here, which we will give a crack and see how we go. It's a hill that I know 100% I would not make it up on the old scooter. So let's give it a real go and test it out and see how it goes. It would have been obviously good to test it out when we were at full capacity battery. What we got now? We got 58%, so we'll probably start losing a little bit of power soon because the way that these scooters work is they start taking away power to save battery. It can be a pain, but it gets you more range in the end. And unfortunately, there's no way to change it. Here we go. So this is a very steep hill, and I would never have got very far up this hill on the old scooter. So I kind of don't expect to get all the way up the hill on this one either. But so far, very good. Obviously, that was the road as well, so that definitely helps. So now we're going off the pathway, and I reckon we'll probably get 3/4 of the way before we maybe start going backwards. We're at 12 kilometers an hour, so at least we're still going up it. And it is very steep. Like, I know Em doesn't have much trouble getting up this hill on her scooter, which is good. I'd say it's having trouble, it's just going slow. Okay, it's definitely starting to have trouble now. Alright, now we're at the steepest possible point of this hill, which is very, very, very steep. As far as I'm concerned anyway. And we are about to lose power. We're at 4 kilometers an hour, so we won't make it, I don't think. We're very close. I'm going to keep trying. Alright, so we made it. That's actually pretty crazy. The old scooter, I definitely would not have made that hill, and I would have been walking up most of the way. So I'm impressed that I was able to do that with me on it. And at 58, or less than 58 now, at 50% battery. Yeah, 50% battery, there's no way we would have made that up that hill on the old scooter. So very good pass there for this scooter. Now we're going to go back down, but I am not going down on the road because that's no doubt when the police will come along and have me on the road. So we're doing the right thing. There you go. Just going to coast down the hill. Also, it's not a good idea, especially when I mentioned that the brakes are a little bit soft, to go flying down this incredibly steep hill. Tell you what, the dual brakes, definitely good though. Like, that was good. And like I said, they've definitely gotten better as I've been going as well. They've thoroughly improved as I've been using them. So yeah, no, I think they're quite good actually. The dual brakes, it's very easy to use. All right, well, very good. There's the gym again. Still have not been. We'll get there eventually. Once I've got over my illness, my finger, which I dislocated. Once all that's healed up, we'll be good to go back to the gym. There you go, mate. There you go, mate. Good. Legends. Good blokes. So just hanging out. Joel Street. Why not? It is, like I said before, it's actually quite nice at night time. Just when you get the wrong crowds in it starts to look shit house. But like I said, since the train line's been down, you don't get the wrong crowds in here as much. So it's still pretty good in Joel Street. But anyway, we're not out here doing a Joel Street test or a run. We're doing a G3. I guess you want to call it a review, but this is our first use review, I suppose you can call it. Literally, just got it out of the box, set it up, took some pills for me sickness, which I can tell are definitely wearing off now, as I'm starting to feel a little bit crappy again. And jumped on the scooter, put the cameras and the mics ready, put Em to bed, put the dog to bed, and off we went. Yeah. And the pickup is still fantastic, even the battery half depleted. So yeah, for a first ride review, I only give this a massive thumbs up. I thoroughly recommend to anybody looking for a scooter. And hey, Segway, if you want to sponsor me, I'll gladly say it as a sponsored video as well, but I guess now I've ruined that, don't need to. Yeah, thoroughly recommend. Great scooter. Oh, yeah, these brakes they've definitely gotten better since we started the ride. Like I said, when we first started, a few times I put on the brakes and I couldn't stop. There was no way I was going to be able to stop in time to turn. So since then they've thoroughly improved and I have no problems stopping. And I'm actually stoked with the dual brakes actually. I wasn't too happy when I saw they were dual brakes because I didn't want to use them, but yeah, I like them now. Alright, well that footpath's closed, so we're not allowed to go down there, which is a bit annoying because I actually want to go on the road because I want to get to the pathway up there, but there's too many people around, so I don't want to do anything illegal. Alright, everyone's gone now, so I'm not saying we do anything illegal, but there's people coming again. Where's the pathway? There's got to be a pathway over here. Alright, cool. This is a quiet area, quiet street, so we'll be okay. If anyone's coming, we'll jump on the pathway just to our left there. But we are just looking for a crossover up here, which goes underneath the bridge and to our house. So we'll just go a little bit further with the video. You can follow me a bit. Oh, the brakes are great. I really enjoy the brakes. I've actually seen a lot of videos on this scooter, and the one complaint was the brakes, but I think they were all complaining about it prior to giving it a good run. And I can see why they were doing that, but yeah, definitely not an issue now because the brakes are great. Yeah, this is great. Thoroughly enjoy the scooter. Fantastic. I can't wait for that part of the pathway to open up because I took the drone out the other day just to see how far they've gone with the bridge and pathway, etc. And from what I could tell, it goes all the way to Byford, which is quite distance from here, which is great for us because it means we'll be able to scooter to Byford and scooter to our mate's place just up the road, which we could never do before. So that'll be really good. We'll be able to scoot on over there and have more reasons to jump on the scooter. It's actually great that they're actually including a lot more of these pathways and bikeways. on a lot of these things that are building, so we are able to get out on a lot more roads and explore more places. So yeah, great. So we're headed home now. We'll keep the camera on just in case anything happens, but big thumbs up from me on the G3 Max G3 scooter. Thoroughly enjoy it. We'll definitely do some more runs. We'll do a day run as well, obviously, with the scooter as well, so you can see what it's like during the day, rather than always having these dark videos, which can get very boring when you can't see much of anything. So we'll definitely go out during the day on Friday when I'm healthy and my day off. Hopefully I have my voice properly back, and you'll be able to hear me properly. And of course, if the camera's on, you'll be able to see better as well. I'm not sure exactly where we'll go yet. We might go to, might even go to Midland if we get out there. I've wanted to do Midland for a couple of months now. Just haven't managed to get out there yet. We might do Midland. Might even go to Bayswater or something like that. We'll figure it out. Yeah, great scooter. Thing absolutely flies when you need it to. So we haven't got a long way tonight. We've gone, I don't know. Oh, look, we've gone 12.5 kilometres. We've got 40% battery, 40% battery left. It's not a huge amount left, but the wind has been incredibly strong as well, so I've got to give it that. But even at that, I would say we'll get just over 20 kilometres, which is even pushing it how hard we have today, with this breeze and that massive hill would have taken it out of it. 20 kilometres is, I'm happy with that. Especially considering we were really struggling to get 16, 17 on the old one. Have a few more kilometres out of this one, definitely more speed. But also, like I said, we'll dial the speed down and we'll be able to get even more distance as well. So, yep, I'm happy with where we are currently. The scooter feels fantastic, very, very smooth, very stable. Even at the higher speeds, don't feel like you're going to come off at all. It's nice and smooth ride. Suspension is great. The lights are great. Brakes are really good. I have no complaints whatsoever. And it looks fantastic. Extra size on the wheels helps as well for that extra comfort. And yeah, like I said, the scooter just looks great overall. So I'm very happy with it. So thank you all for joining me. We'll see you on the next trip. Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed my little short review. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you on the next one.